Robert Kennedy,
Will you say your birthday for me?
October 15th, 1925.
And how did you end up in the Navy?
I enlisted in the Navy thinking that's where I really wanted to be, and it's been a pleasure ever since.
Ever since. No regrets.
I reached the rank of electronic technician's mate second class, which means I had 2 stripes on my petty officer chevron.
So when did you first get on the USS Missouri?
Well, probably it's still a fairly new ship, but I remember stepping aboard and looking up the antenna and wondering how I would ever be able to maintain or contract those high wire acts, and a little bit frightening, but we got it done. We had a shop with every imaginable hand tool clipped to the wall on the O3 level, 3 decks above the main deck. And that was our office. That's where we spent our time whenever we had free time. And I could still, I'm sure, still find that shop.
Wow, you think so? You were working with technology at the time that was still very brand new with radars. Can you tell me about what you were doing?
Well, it was quite new, and it was a little bit frightening to be responsible for maintaining something as fairly new as this technology. And we knew we'd do the best we could, and it was scary, but it was also wonderful to be able to play that role.
So what city did you get on, or maybe island, did you end up getting on USS Missouri?
I believe, I'm not positive, but I believe it was on the West Coast.
How old were you at the time?
I joined the Navy at 18. I was probably 17 or 18 when.
And so you were about that age when you got on USS Missouri?
Yes.
Okay. Were you at any point, since it was wartime, were you nervous?
Oh, I'm sure, I wouldn't want to admit it, but I'm sure there were times when I wondered what was going to happen next. But it was a great experience.
Were you on the ship during Iwo Jima?
Yes.
Can you tell me what that experience was like?
Well, we were a battleship, so as you probably know, most of the use of the battleship in a shore bombardment was to just do that, bombard the shore, break up the situation for the military, ground troops and so forth. So it was scary, but we were proud of it. We knew we were aboard a fairly new and one of the Navy's biggest warships. I remember when I was taken aboard with another sailor whom I don't know, and we were pointed to a couple bunks. I don't know if you're familiar, but bunk Navy is canvas with canvas eyelets laced to a pipe frame. That was your bed. And then eventually somebody said, "You'll be relocated, but this is where you spend the night." So I spent 1 or 2 nights in this strange location aboard a battleship. Very strange.
You look back at your entire time on the Mighty Mo as a positive life experience.
Oh, yes. It was one of the biggest ships in the Navy. We knew we were playing a significant role in bombarding the enemy locations on Iwo Jima. And as to the specific, I'm not real sure, except that it was exciting for a young 18-year-old. It was something I will never forget. There are things about it that I wish I'd remembered better was that I'll never forget being aboard the ship, being enlisted in the Navy, being a part of this special group of guys. It was very important and exciting.
Did you keep in touch with some of your
No,
fellow? No?
no, and that wasn't a deliberate thing. We just went our separate ways, like everybody who had been involved in World War II. The war ended, knowing that we had our whole life ahead of us, and just glad that we were prepared to think about the war being over with.
Do you remember when you found out that Japan was going to surrender? I imagine word spread throughout the ship.
We were told that it was going to happen and that we should be happy, and we were. And of course, we knew that we probably had made it through a horrible period of time without any injury ourselves. I look upon those days with great pride.
How close were you? Because I know you were on the ship during the surrender, but do you remember what that was like? Were you able to see anything from where you were?
They made a significant effort to make sure that every person aboard was brought topside, get out into the open on some deck area, so that I can't remember the specifics, but I know that I witnessed the surrender by looking down on. I remember a Japanese ship came alongside and put their contingent in a small craft, and then the small craft sailed to the side of the Missouri, where they were assisted aboard by members of the crew of the USS Missouri. I didn't sign anything, or I wasn't a part of it, but I was witness to it, and it was extremely exciting. And knew we were on our way home.
Well, yes, getting to go home. You were a teenager at that time. Did it occur to you that you were in this place that was pivotal to the entire world, that this moment that you witnessed had so much meaning? At that time, did that sink in for you?
Probably not immediately. It was just another thing that we were told to do, or a place to go. It's a series of events that unfold in a historical way, and at some point in time you realize that you're part of this significant event, and although you didn't play individually a big part, you were part of it. And I will always be proud of my Navy service, but particularly proud of my Navy service as we participated in the end of the war.
How long has it been? It's been a few years since you've seen Mighty Mo.
I've seen it, I think maybe a year ago.
Okay. So what does it mean for you to be back here, to be part of this 80th anniversary of that moment?
It's very significant. I played a small part in the war, and to be part of the ceremony that would officially end the war was exciting and unforgettable, obviously.